Hello, this is hopefully the first in a few different videos I'm going to try to do walkthroughs with Java and Eclipse. This is the first video. All right, let's start from the beginning. So far, all I did was start Eclipse. Downloaded it, installed it. I just started Eclipse. I've got sort of the default window open. In the beginning, the way it works is Eclipse needs to see your program in a Java project. Let's start with the workspaces. When you first install Eclipse, when you first start Eclipse, it's going to ask you for our workspace. This is sort of like the root folder where everything is going to be located, your bin folders, your programs, all that good stuff. Mine happens to be under C, Users, DAD, Workspace. Okay, so I'm not going to change this, but this is where I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to create a Java project. And I'm going to call it exercise, and spell it right, 01, let's say. I'm not going to change anything else. So far, the JRE that I'm using is Java 1.7. That's the executable file. You could do the drop down and pick a different environment file if you want to, but let's just stay with Java Standard Edition 1.7. Not changing anything else. We'll keep the working sets as it is. We'll talk about that later. No other changes. All I did was name the project name. We're going to click Finish. This is not enough to run a Java program, but it is sort of the framework in how to create a Java project. I didn't change anything but created the project by project name. It automatically added the JRE 1.7 library and gave me a folder for my source. So far, so good. So let's look over to see what it created. I'm going to refresh my folders. I actually had a project file out there already called My First Java Project. Nothing to do with this video. It was from a prior video. The one that I just did was Exercise 01. Let's double click this. Let's see what's in this. Again, nothing was done. I didn't create any classes. No code has been done. And Eclipse creates a .project file, a .path file, a source folder. That source folder is the same thing as this source folder. Excuse me. The bin file, which is where all your output classes are going to go, and a settings directory. All this stuff was created by Eclipse as soon as I started the project. Okay. Let's go back over to source. We're going to create a new Java class. Again, I'm not going to give you anything too terribly difficult. I have some Java code that I'm going to sort of cut and paste. Let's create a simple one. I'm going to open this up. Actually, I didn't want to open up a WordPad. I want to open up in Notepad. Try that again. Okay, I'm going to call this program exercise 1_10. Okay. Exercises. So what am I doing here? So far, I didn't type anything in. I didn't click the finish button. All I did was enter in a package and a name for the class. I didn't change any of the options. It's still a public class. It's still part of the superclass java.lang.object. There's no interfaces. None of this stuff makes any sense because this is the first video. But I didn't change anything. All I did was name the class and name the package. So here's the way Eclipse works. You can have one-to-many projects added to a project, a Java project. You can have more projects than this. You notice that I have this JRE folder. Classes can be grouped in packages. It just so happens I call this package exercises. But I can have many classes that are part of this single package. Public means it's available for the outside to be executed. These checkboxes here, this public static void main means when I create this, it's going to create this void main method. Excuse me, main method. Let's see what happens when I click finish. Cool. I've got a package called exercises. I've got a class called exercise 01-10. I've got some comments here, the parameter arguments comments. I've got my main method. But that's it. It's nothing else comes with that. So what I'm going to do is go back over to Notepad, and I'm just going to copy Let's copy the whole main method. And I'm going to replace what came from what was automatically generated. You notice that the indents aren't quite right. If I want to get Eclipse to fix this, I can go to Source and go to Format. You notice it sort of fixes the indents for me. Just makes it readable. Trust me, once you get more lines of code, you'll want a more readable program. This program really doesn't do a whole lot of stuff. It just will print one line. So let's execute this program. First of all, do I have any errors in the program? No, I don't have any errors, because if I did, I'd start to get messages in the margins in Eclipse, because under project I have build automatically set, which means every time I type a line, a couple seconds later, it will build in the background and will show me some errors. So for instance, if I added a couple lines and just put some garbage in there, a few seconds later I'll start to get compiler issues. Okay, so let's get rid of this garbage. Wait a second or two. Looks good. If I want to run this program, I click the Run button. Bottom of the screen, or the console window. Here's the console window. This program printed that line. System.out.print line 14 divided by 45.5 times 60, whatever this math is. This is the end result. This main doesn't return anything because it's a void. What else can I tell you about it? This is actually not using any, it's using the system class, which is part of this, but it's not really implementing a whole lot of other JRE stuff. Not much to this one. I'm going to create another video, which is going to have some different code. I just wanted to give you a walkthrough of how to create a Java project, how to create a package, how to create a class in the package, how to implement the code, and again, I'll give you some exercise examples, how to do the formatting again under source format, how to run the program, where the program is supposed to, in this case, system.out is going to write to the console, which is one of the windows we have down here. So far, so good. I didn't show you how to do steps. I didn't show you how to do debugging. I didn't show you how to call one method from another or run JUnit. This was simply how to start Eclipse, create a project, execute the project. The next video is going to be a little bit more complicated, how we can execute methods, how we can step through and debug code. Thank you very much.